So in JCLs we have statements, right?
Yes.
Job, exec, DD, proc, pen, like that. But in COBOL we have statements. Sorry, in
Okay.
COBOL we have divisions. Okay, so we have
Okay.
generally four divisions in COBOL. One is identification division. One is environment division. One is data division. One is procedure division. You know, right?
Yes.
Out of which identification division and procedure division are mandatory. Data division and
Okay.
environment division are not mandatory. These are only used
Okay.
in some cases. Now, first, let us
Okay.
understand identification division. So, identification division is used to identify the program, the basic details about the program, like what is the name of the program, who wrote the program, when was it written, when was it compiled, for which client we are writing, this kind of basic details. So under
Okay.
identification division, we have basically five parameters. One is called program ID.
Okay.
Then we have author. Then we have date written. Then we
Okay.
have date compiled. Then we have installation. Now, identification division is mandatory. Each and every COBOL program starts with identification division, this line. Okay.
Okay.
After each line, we generally give a dot, period. In some cases, we
Okay.
don't give. We'll find that later. Now, under
Okay.
identification division, we have five parameters: program ID, author, date written, date compiled, installation. Out of which only program ID is mandatory. Author, date
Okay.
written, date compiled, installation are not mandatory. If even if you don't write them, the program will run fine. But
Okay.
we generally write. Okay. So program ID means
Okay.
what is the name of the program. So after
Okay.
program ID also, you need to give a dot. You need to give one space and you need to write the program. Suppose your program name is COBOL PGM. What is the name of the program? You have to write. Again, give a dot. This is mandatory.
Okay.
Then author means who has written the program. Author dot. You can write your name if you have written the program. Then date
Okay.
written. When was this program written? If you have started writing today, you can give today's date, 2024 11/16. Date compile. When was it compiled? Now compilation means whenever you write a program, before executing it, we need to compile it. So compilation is done to convert the code into its equivalent executable format. If you write a
Okay.
mainframe COBOL program this way, the mainframe system will not be able to execute it because mainframe system does not understand this language. We need to convert
Okay.
it into its equivalent executable format. That process is
Okay.
called compilation. So compilation is also
Okay.
done through a JCL. Some programs are there through which compilation is done. Now, compile on which day it was compiled. So if you have written started writing and you just compiled it, try to see whether it is giving compilation error or not. You can give today's date. Now these things will not give you any error. Okay, these names,
Okay.
this date, these are all user inputs. These will not give any error, but these are written to identify basic things about the program. What is name, who wrote, on which date was initially written, when was it compiled. Installation is for which client you are writing, for whom you are writing the program. Suppose
Okay.
your client name, you can write about the client name, ABC, simply. Okay. So
Okay.
these are all about identification division. In real time in the projects, you will see all these informations are mentioned, not only
Oh.
program ID, but even if you don't write these four informations, program, if you write only program ID, there is enough. It will not fail.
Okay.
Clear?
Clear.
Now, environment division is not mandatory. Okay.
Okay.
Environment division, generally when we use file concept in our programs, if we use files, then only we use environment division. Otherwise, if you don't use environment division, your program will not fail. When you use files, you have to use environment division. So
Okay.
when you use files, you have to write environment division, then under this input output section, input output section, then file control. Okay,
Okay.
file control. So input output section and file control. Now under file control only you have to declare the files first of all. Now why to declare the files? The thing is, COBOL program, for example, this is a COBOL program where there's an input file and you are processing the input file and you are generating one output file. For example, in this program, it is happening. Now, COBOL program cannot directly interact with the files. It cannot directly get the data and also it cannot send the data back to the file. It cannot directly interact with the mainframe physical files. Okay, whatever
Okay.
files you create in the mainframe system, it cannot directly interact. It has to interact with the files through JCL. So the files should be passed through the JCL and via the DD name, the linking happens, okay, mapping of data. That thing is done under file control. Okay, I think
Okay.
there is a hyphen here. Okay, so under file control, we write it this way. So select in file assign to DD1, select out file assign to DD2. Now, what is the meaning of select in file assigned to DD1, select out file assigned to DD2? The meaning of this is there are two files in the JCL. Now, which JCL? The execution JCL, not the compilation JCL. If you write a program, you use file, table, anything you use, there is no problem. You can simply compile it with the normal compilation JCL only. But when you execute this program, you need to include the files also. Since you are using two files in the program, you need to use two files in the execution JCL also. Similar, okay,
Okay.
when you execute IBgener program, you use files, right? Input output. Same way you have to use. So I am imagining that you have given the DD name of input file as DD1 in the JCL and DD name of output file as DD2 in the JCL. Now here I am doing the mapping. Select in file assigned to DD1, select out file assigned to DD2. Meaning the file whose DD name is DD1 in the JCL will be called as in file in the program. The file whose DD name is DD2 in the JCL will be called as out file in the program. So suppose DD1 is input file, DD2 is output. So the data from the input file via DD1 will come to in file and data from output file via DD2 will go to the output physical output file. This is how the mapping
Okay.
and data transfer will happen. So this
Okay.
mapping should be done. Okay. Now
Okay.
data structure, you have defined the file. Now you have to define the structure of the file also. Now data division. Data division is also not mandatory, but it is used in some cases. Suppose you are using any file, the file definition has to be defined under environment division, but the file structure has to be defined under data division. Also, if you are using some variables, those variables also you need to define under data division. And if you are linking two programs, that linking also happens under data division. Now it has
Okay.
some sections. Okay, for example, in this case, we'll have file section. Now, since we have two files, for both these files, we need to define the structure. First file name is in file, second file name is out file. So first let us discuss the structure of first file. So fd in file. Now we need to define the structure of the file. I will define it this
Okay.
way. 01 in rec picture clause x of 80. Similar way for out file also we need to define the structure. Out file 01 out rec picture clause x of 80. Now there are two files, right? In file, out file. For in file, the data structure is this. I have not broken down the structure into name, salary, and all of that. Just entire record I have written for out file
Okay.
also. Now, this line, what is the meaning of this? There are many things inside it. First is 01, then in rec, then peak, then x, then 80. Five things, right? So 01 is
Oh
called
yeah.
level number. So this is a
Okay.
variable actually. Here we have defined a variable. You already know, right? Variables, working storage variables
Yeah.
or these kind of
Ah.
variables. Every variable when you define should be started with a level number. Now we
Okay.
have level numbers from 01 to 99. 99 level numbers we have. But
Okay.
this kind of variables, which is a standalone variable, meaning it's an independent variable. It does not come under any variable, nor it has any variable under it. That means it does not
Okay.
have any parent variable also, child variable also. It's an independent standalone variable, correct? In this
Ah,
case,
correct.
you can either use 01 or 77 level number in this kind of standalone variables. Zero, 1 or 77, both will work. Okay.
Okay.
Now there are some variables which are group variables. For example, if you break down this structure like this, 0, 1 in rec, and under in rec, suppose first first 10 characters is name, then salary pixel class x of 6, like this. Okay, filler. So 10, 30, 36, 44. For example, this is the file structure that the record that is coming in the input file. First 10 characters is the name, then 6 characters is salary, then 20 characters is address, then spaces. Nothing is that.
Okay.
If we define it this way, then this is called group variable, parent variable,
Okay.
and all these are child variables. These are all under it, sub-elementary variables. These are. In this case, the group variable should always be 0. Sometimes I have seen they are using 77 also, but generally 0, 1 should be used for group variables. And these child variables can have anything from 0 to 99 except for 66, 77, 88, 49. Now again, there are some concepts. 49 also can be used in child variable sub-elementary, but that is a totally different concept that is done in while linking two programs in linkage section that we'll get later on. 88 is also
Okay.
used in sub-elementary variables, but that concept is also different. That is conditional variable. 77 cannot be used because 77 is used only in case of standalone, and 67 also cannot be used. That is used only in case of renames concept. Other than these
Okay.
four, you can use anything between 0 to 299 for sub-elementary in normal variable cases. 49 and 88 can also be used, but in different cases. 66, 77 cannot be used. 66
Okay.
is used only in case of a concept called rename. 77 is for standalone. So these kind of variables you can blindly keep 0, 1 standalone, or
Good.
if it's a group variable, group 1 should be 0, 1, and the sub-elementary variable should be 0, 2. Now, for example, you want to divide the name in name also into two parts.
Okay.
Suppose 0, 3 in first name x of 4, for example,
Okay.
then 0, 3 in last name picture x of 4. This way also can be given. Now, see the level numbers of first name and last name are same, 0, 3. That means both of these are part of in name.
Okay.
Okay, so both of these will constitute the value of in name, and in name, in salary, in address, and filler will constitute the value for in rec. See, I have not given any picture clause for in name because in name is a group variable for these two sub-elementary. Now the total value of first name and last name will be the value of in name. So it will be auto calculated, this length and format. That is why you don't need to mention the length and format, length and data type of this variable because it has sub-elementary variables. The combined value of the sub-elementary variables will be the value of in name, and the combined value of in name, in salary, in address, and filler will be the value of in rec. So in rec is the entire record. Like if this in the file name is in file in the program, if this file has 100 records, each and every record will be called as in rec, and the maximum length is 80, and the data type is x. Now what is x?
Okay.
X is the data type. Now we have three data types in COBOL basically. One is x, one is a, one is 9. X is
Mm.
alphanumeric, where you can store alphabets, numerics, everything. A is alphabetic, where you can store only alphabets,
Okay.
A to Z. 9 is numeric, where you can store only numeric values, 0 to 9. Okay. So generally, when you define a file, it should always have X because in a file, you will have all types of data. You will have names also, you will have salaries, you have numbers, decimals, everything you will have, right? So it should always
Yes.
have X, otherwise, it will not be accepted.
Okay.
Similarly, for output file also, this is the structure that I have given. Now, this length of the file should exactly match with the logical record length of the file physically in the system. If you are using any file as input and output, the logical record length of the file should exactly match with the length, this length,
Okay.
80. If it does not match, your program will fail.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, bro.
Got it now? So here, this
Yes.
is how you have to define the structure of the file. Now that is done.
Mm.
So procedure division is the main thing where you will write the business logics, where you will write the business logics. So inside procedure division, you will, for example, I have written display IBM mainframes. Now stop run. So every program should be ended with something called stop run. So stop run, what it does, it stops the execution and sends the control back to the operating system. The program will stop executing.
Okay.
And there is one more thing called area A, area B.
Okay.
Now in JCL, when you write a JCL, you start writing from
Okay.
first position, right? Two forward
Mm. Yeah.
slash, then start, sorry, two slashes, then these commands like job name, job, and all of that. But COBOL programs always start from eighth position,
Okay.
like this.
Okay.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. From here it will start. If it's the first position, these seven positions will be empty always.
Okay.
Now there are two things. One is area A. Area A means position which starts from position 8. Area B is which starts from position 12. Now what are the things that start from position 8 and what are the things that start from position 12? All the divisions, all the parameters under division, all the level numbers, all the paragraphs, all the statements, all these sentences, everything will start from area A, position number 8. Divisions,
Mm. Okay.
all the parameters under division, level number, and all of that. Paragraphs, sentences, all of that. And the commands. So this select statements also should start from area B. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 are correct only. And whatever you write within procedure division also should start from area B, position number 12. The business logics, the general statements. Okay, there are some things which again will start from position number 8 inside procedure division, like defining a para. When you define a para, that defining should start from position number 8. But other than that, all the statements that you write inside procedure division should always start from position 12. If you don't maintain this layout, it will give compilation error.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a
Okay.
basic COBOL program.
Okay.
Now I have included files and everything, but when we
Yes.
practice, we'll practice with a basic simple COBOL program. We'll just have a display statement and we'll see how it is
Okay.
executed. Got it? Any
Okay.
doubt?
Uh, no, no, bro. That inrec, outrec, our defined name only, right? Not a
Yeah,
default
yeah,
one.
all different. These are all defined. This in file, out file also. You can use any name. These
Okay.
I have just written to for our convenience to understand easily. Like in file means input file, out file means out file. In real time, you'll have different names always.
Okay.
You'll in real time you will always have names related to your project or functionality. Sometimes this here
Mm.
also DD1, DD2 will not be there, may not be there. Some
Ah.
functionality related names will be there. Here also indirect
Okay.
output might not be there. Some functionality related. Okay, just these
Okay.
are all user inputs. See, this is a basic program. Okay, simple program.
Okay.
So if you see, these first seven positions I have kept open, kept empty.
Okay.
And but in some cases I have written star. Again, I have kept empty. Now you'll understand that whenever this seventh position is empty, it means it's a valid line. This line is
Okay.
for execution. Whenever you have star,
Mm.
it means it's a commented line. And real time in all the programs, you'll have description. about the program, what the program is actually doing. Whether it's a
Oh,
JCL or a program, always there will be description. If you write a program today and if you resign after 1 year and someone else comes at your place, it will be difficult for him to read and understand the program if you don't write any description what this program is
oh,
doing, right? That's why we always
oh,
maintain descriptions about the program, and also if some enhancements are done on this program, some tags are added, what kind of enhancement is done. For the first time, suppose I have written this program, I've written it, I have delivered it to production. Next, after suppose 2 years, some changes are done in the program. That time, whoever has done the changes, he will add some extra comments like this is the change I have done in this program, and he'll again deliver. That way, we will understand what this program is doing, what kind of changes this program has had in the past few years. Okay. Now here, if you
okay,
see identification division, these are all keywords, mandatory lines. Okay, so yet
okay.
these have come in red color. Program ID dot, then after dot you have to give a space. I have given the program
Oh,
name sam pgm to simple any name, then dot, author dot space Jahangir dot, date written dot space some date, date compiled dot space date, installation dot Bank of America something. Simply I have written this one, and these are all commented lines. Whenever you have a commented line in JCL, you have two slashes then star, but in COBOL program at seventh position, you need to give star.
okay,
Then only it means it's a commented line. So this one I have made a design only. Okay. So
okay.
sample display program, then procedure division, and see this under procedure division, these lines have started from position 12.
Okay,
Display. So display, after display, I have written IBM mainframe. This IBM mainframe I have kept inside single quotes. So it will be as it is displayed in the sysout after execution
okay.
in spool. Then stop run is to stop the execution of the program. This is a basic program. Okay. Now, if
Okay,
you don't write these 4 lines also, it will be fine. These 4 lines are
okay,
not mandatory. Only program ID is mandatory. Identification division, program ID, procedure division. These three are mandatory in a COBOL program. Even if you don't write
okay.
these four, it will be fine. But we should always keep a practice of writing each and every information.
Okay.
So save it. Now you have written a program in this language, okay? But mainframe does not understand this language. It will not be able to execute it. Now
Mm,
what we have to do, we have to first convert this program into its equivalent executable format. And that is done by compiling this program. Now, this is a compilation JCL. Each and every project will have a compilation JCL or will have some tools where you just have to write the library name and the program that you want to compile. And if you submit,
okay,
it will be compiled. Here also the case is same. So here what is happening is there is a catalog proc. Matsc.jb.cobol.proclib is a library where we have a catalog proc COBOL. Inside this
okay,
catalog proc, the compilation steps are written. Now I will not show. Later on I'll show, because if I show now you'll get confused. In this step
okay,
two, in this proc, there are two steps written. First program is IGYCRCTL. This is an utility. It is used to compile the program. Then there is something called link edit. So the utilities IEWL or IEWL, something that's related to this. There are some other utilities also. So in compilation, there are two processes. One is compilation, one is link edit. So compilation is to convert the program to its equivalent binary format, and link edit is to make it executable. So two processes. Both these steps are present inside this catalog proc. If you check, I will show you sometime.
okay.
Now here, what you have to do is, here the input is the source library where you have kept your program. You have kept your program in this library, correct?
Oh, yeah, correct.
So that thing you need to mention. These are all symbolic parameters, okay? All these parameters are getting resolved from here. These all are used as symbolic parameters inside this catalog proc. So this is the source library where you have kept the program. What is the
Mm.
name of the program? SAMPGM2, correct? This is the source
Ah, correct.
library and this is the name of the program.
Okay,
And there is something called copybook. Copybook is a concept in mainframe where you store the layouts of the files.
Okay.
Okay. Generally, so the example that I have shown now, this is the layout of the file. This
Ah,
is the layout of the file in regpeak. Same thing. So if this is we have a layout like this, same thing. Rather than writing this in the program, we create a copybook library and we keep the code there. So there is a significance for that. Also, we'll get it later on. In this program, we don't have any copybook. You can ignore for now. Now,
okay.
this is the program. This is the library where I have written the program, and this is the name of the program member. Now, what is
Okay.
loadlib? This is the output library where, with the same name, one member will be generated. That is the executable format.
Okay.
Okay, in the load library, with the same member name, one member will be generated. That only we have to execute. So, in
Okay.
through this compilation JCL, we are converting this program to its equivalent executable format. If I submit this, if you go to load library, SMPGM2. See, it is created, correct? If
Ah,
you go
okay.
inside, see this, you will not understand this code.
Ah, okay.
So this is the program I wrote, correct?
Ah, yeah, correct.
And when I compiled it, this is generated. But both
Oh,
of these are equivalent. Whatever is, so
ah,
this is in ASCII format and this is in binary format. But
okay.
mainframe does not understand this format. Mainframe understands this format. So I have to execute this one.
Okay.
So if you check, you will have today's date also. See 2024 11 16. 16 11 means November, 16 is the date. Then 11:10:48:04. This is American US time currently. In morning 11
Okay.
now. 11 hours 10 minutes 48 second millisecond. This is millisecond.
Okay.
0402. So this is the timestamp when this program was compiled. Now
Okay.
when I have to execute, so execution JCL is normal, simple JCL only. We normally how you execute the IB gener IIBR 14, same way you can create your own execution JCL also. But I have one created already. So job card, then step one exec PGM equal to the program name that you want to execute. So this is the program name for us.
Nice.
And this time there is where this program is located. That location also you have to give by writing steplib dddsn equal to the library where the program is present. What
Okay.
is the library name? medc.jv.cobol.loadlib. This one. See, at the time of executing those utilities, IABR 14, IB, gener, ID, camp,
Okay.
sort, we did not add this line. We did not have this, right?
Ah,
Why?
yeah, correct.
Because those are utilities created by mainframe. And though the
Ah,
codes of those programs are already there in mainframe. So we don't need to provide any location to the system that please find this program here. But since this is a COBOL program which I have written, I can write this program in any library, correct? I can create hundreds of
nice.
libraries and I can keep it anywhere. How will the system know where I have kept it? Or suppose there are two libraries where there are two programs with the same name in different libraries, but both have different code. Now, if you don't write this, how will the system know from which one it needs to pick? That is why we need to provide the location where to pick the code from. So I have written, please execute this program and pick it from this library. Which library is this? This is the load library where I have just compiled and kept the binary
Okay.
format, executable format. So I need to mention this library name. This particular share file names are not required. That's it. Sysprint dd sysout, sysout dd sysout. This is simple JCL only. If you submit this, go to spool. See, IBM mainframe is displayed.
Ah,
Whenever you have any display statement in your program, there will be a sysout generated in spool, and there
okay.
the display message will come.
Okay.
So we had one display statement here. Same display has come there also. Okay,
What is Sysprint?
which one?
Sysprint.
This one. This is print. Huh?
Ah, yeah, this.
See, Uh, these are all some tabs which will be generated. So whenever you have DDC out statements in your
Okay.
execution JCL, okay, the meaning of that is these kind of tabs will be generated in spool with these names.
Okay.
One tab should be generated with sysprint, one tab should be generated with
Ah, yeah,
sysout,
yeah.
and in real time, in at the time of executing utilities IABR 14 IB general, we can just
Yeah,
use
yeah.
sysprint sysout. But at the time
Ah,
of
yeah.
executing COBOL programs, you will see some 7 8 DD sysout statements are there, like
Ah, I see.
sysabn DD sysout, cdum DD sysout, cusudum DD sysout. Okay, those kind of. Now
Okay.
the significance behind this is each and every, these are all some DD names, okay? Sysprint, sysout. Each and everything has a different purpose. For example, when you execute IBgener utility, sysprint is mandatory
Ah, yeah.
because IBgener has a feature which will create some messages in the tab called sysprint. So sysprint, the name, a tab will be generated with the name of sysprint. But if you don't write sysout, it is fine. But at the time of
Ah, yeah.
executing sort utility, sysout is mandatory, not sysprint. At the
Ah, I
time
see.
of sort, you will see in the spool there's a tab called generated called sysout. At the time of IABR 14, nothing is mandatory. You can remove both the lines.
Hmm.
But to make sure, it's very difficult to remember which needs what. That is why we keep everything. Now, at the time of
Okay.
executing COBOL programs, we will add some more DDCs out. Here, I have not added, but in real time, you will see 7
Okay.
8 DDCs out statements are present. That is because your program might fail someday, and that failure
Ah,
can happen for any reason. It can happen for data issue, for environment issue, for data format, for db2 issue, anything. Now, it is not necessary that always you will find the error in spool. That is why there are some dd sysout statements which we have to add in our jcl, so that even if the error is very new and rare and unknown, we find it in some tab. That is why you'll see always 8 to 10 tabs are generated. Okay.
okay.
In this case, sysout is meaningless because I
Okay.
have used a display statement. This sysout is mandatory in this. If I don't write this, sysout tab will not be generated in spool. I cannot see the display.
Okay.
But you will always see in real time there are many more DDCs out. CSUDUM, CSABN, CDUM DDCs out, DDCs just DDCs out, like that. Some 7 8 DDCs out statements will be there. That is because we don't want to lose any chance of finding the error if the error is very new. Because if this program is processing one input file from the client, in input file there may be different kind of data. Spatial character may be there, wrong data format, data layout is wrong, values are wrong, or DB2 issues are there. It is not necessary that always we'll find the error in this DDC just. We will not find. Here we find only the simple errors like file not found, duplicate file, and all of that. But
Okay.
serious kind of issues which come because of data or something are generated in different types of tabs. That is why we keep all those.
Okay.
Okay. For example, for example, if I use some files here in this program, but the file length here is not matching with the file length which I use in the JCL, then it will fail. Okay, the
Oh,
logical record length of the file that I use here is not matching with the file in the program, so it will fail. But the error will not be generated here. For that, some tabs have to be generated, like cdump, ddcs out. I think there only in that case, cdump, there will be a tab generated called cdump, and there only you will find the error. That is how you will find. So ddcs out statements are always used. Many more statements will be there. Clear?
okay. This clear. Doubt in compile JSON.
Yeah, tell me.
Here, what are the mandatory need to give
Nothing.
for
See, in
simple
real time,
program?
you will have a JCL ready. There, just you need to place wherever you need to place the source library where you have kept the written the program. That library name you have to put in source lib. The program name you have to keep in member. The load
Okay.
library name you have to put in load library for now. That's it. Nothing else.
Before we have to create one load library, library.
See, in real time, you will have load library. Common load library will be there. You don't need to create your own load library. Source library also will be common. Load library also will be common. Copy library also will be common. You just have to create your own program. That's it.
Okay.
Everything is common. You don't need to create your own library. Everything is generic in real time.
Yeah. If our purpose means we have to create, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That COBOL LCL, sorry, COBOL CL, that what to do inside?
This is a catalog proc, okay? Catalog proc we
Oh,
understand we did in JCL, na? Catalog proc, which is kept inside this. See, this is how this is designed. There is nothing. It has nothing to do with catalog proc. Inside this
then what
catalog proc,
to
the
do?
compilation steps are kept. I will show you tomorrow.
Okay. Okay.
Inside
Okay.
this catalog proc, this is the name of a catalog proc which is kept inside this library. Inside this catalog proc, the compilation steps are there. IGYCRCTL and the link edit steps.
That also
And
we have to write.
huh?
That's why we have to create.
No, no, no. You don't have to create. Everything will be there. This
Okay.
compilation JSL you don't need to create only. Everything will be ready. You just have to write your program name, library name, and you have to submit. That's it. Don't
Okay.
worry about compilation.
Okay.
This is very difficult to create. You cannot create.
Oh, okay. Oh, that COBOL LCL is default.
It is there only for this our session test library. In real time, this format only will be different. The JCL will look different, or they will use some other format. Everything. So
Ah,
this KT will be given to you whenever you join a project, how to compile, because everywhere the process is different, right? Here I have
yeah, right.
created a catalog proc and kept it here, but in real time it will be different. Everywhere it will be different. They will give KT and they'll tell you how to compile.
Okay.
Got it?
Got it.